This is an Eye on Annapolis bonus podcast.
Well, joining us today is one of those rare musicians who's not just played with legends, but he is one as well. Jeff Pevar has shared stages with Crosby, Stills, Nash, David Crosby, Ray Charles, Phil Lesh. That list is insane. And now he's bringing all of that magic and then some to Annapolis with Our House, the music of CSNY. Not your typical tribute show, but a powerhouse celebration by people who have lived it. Jeff, welcome, man. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm so happy to be here. And thank you so much for helping us spread the word. We're so thrilled to be doing this band after many years of playing with our dear friends. And of course, the fact that my friend David is no longer with us. It feels extra kind of juicy to be able to be playing this music and for us to continue trumpeting out this iconic music that for many of us are part of our DNA, right?
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you, I want to get the business out of the way. I just looked and there are still some tickets available, but they are going fast at ramsheadonstage.com. So when everyone is done listening here, go buy a pair or two or three, bring your neighbors, because this is going to be an incredible show. And I've got to say that when they first said, oh, it's a CSNY tribute, and I'm like, right, okay, there's tribute bands everywhere. And you know,
right.
You know, they're yawners and everything else. But boy, this is no ordinary show. Because I mean, you played with Crosby, Stills, and Nash, as has most of the rest of your group. And you guys have this intimate knowledge and experience. And, you know, I understand the show is just not a rehash of their music, but a whole sort of experience, which I love.
Well, let's say this, you know, and the term tribute band, you know, sometimes can add a question mark to someone's interest level. You know, the thing that does set this apart is that there's lineage here of musicians who have played with these guys, and certainly my involvement with them started in the 90s. I was touring with Mark Cohn, Walking in Memphis, writer, and we opened for Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and we had a run of about 6 dates or maybe 8 dates. And Crosby pulls me aside after the third date, and he said, Nash and I have been watching you. We think you'd be the perfect addition when we're just touring as a duo. So my tenure with them started just doing trio with David and Graham. And that led to various other offshoots, including touring with David solo. And we put together a band called CPR, and we put out 4 records with that, Crosby, Pevar, and Raymond. And James Raymond is David's son. And James Raymond was on our tour last year. He's so busy with producing other artists that he couldn't make it this time. But you know, the reality is this: we're playing this music because we have the lineage, we have the experience of being taught this music by the actual artists. And so we carry that forward. You know, I like to look at it as the baton is passed. And, you know, since Crosby, Stills, Nash, or Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young will never have the opportunity to see them live, we just thought, you know what? Let's honor this iconic songbook, and let's bring this music not only to the fans who this music means so much, but also maybe to people who are not as familiar with that music and would love to hear it. So it's an absolute honor to have this honor to represent, you know, and to celebrate this iconic music.
And their songbook is so large and so deep.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it just goes on and on. Now, I mean, I imagine you're going to be telling stories as well. I mean, sure. You know, I mean, you guys toured with them. You knew these people. I mean, it's not called Performed by Family and Friends for nothing.
Right. Yes. Well, you know, a number of us have been involved in the inner circle, if you will, in the inner family circle. And so it gives us a leg up into not only representing this music, but also we love to share some stories, you know, from days gone by. And so that way, you know, it becomes a little bit more of an intimate interchange or discord or whatever, an opportunity for people to hear some things that they would never have a chance to hear if it was just like a regular tribute band.
I agree. And I mean, I love these, and for lack of a better word, I'll say retrospectives, if you will. I was talking to Jim McCarty of the Yardbirds last week, and
nice.
He said his new tour was it was something new for him. It was a mix of music and storytelling. I mean, they were going to rock out and everything else. But personally, I love that because you've got these stories of bands that no longer exist for whatever reason, and they can't be lost. The stories need to be told, and that's the beauty of something like this.
Agreed. There's so many things that kind of enter into our consciousness while we're in performance. And of course, there's times when, my partner Steve will have to change a guitar, and he's changing it to a guitar tuning that David Crosby taught him how to play, like songs like Guinevere or Deja Vu. And during those times, where either of us have to kind of take a moment for some kind of equipment adjustment, it's a very opportune time to delve into this wide storytelling that we love to avail to the people who are coming, because like you just said, there's a wealth of information that people really enjoy hearing, these little snippets of story and of experience that has happened with us by, being involved with these guys for so many years.
And then I'm sure there's going to be a wealth of stories that will be taken to the grave by everybody.
Yeah, no, it's true. I know. I try not to think about that. But it is true. And again, this is one of the reasons why we feel so empowered to do these performances, because it is a combination of the celebration of their work, but it's also a celebration of the fact that, the baton that has been passed, and there are things that we do that can't be exactly like them, and there will never be another exactly like them. So we are interpreting, and it's kind of a combination of, we try to encapsulate the essence of what they recorded and this incredible catalog. But we also have some very, very talented people who are playing this music, and there's some improvisation involved in various places. And for instance, there's certain guitar solos that are from the record where I'll play those, and then certain places where I'm kind of, because David asked me to be in his band CPR because of what I do. And he said that to me. He said, Jeff, you can play whatever you want here. And so I would kind of combine, melodies that are from the record, because to me, that's this recognizable melody, the beginning of Almost Cut My Hair. It's the song, it's like when I played in jazz bands, there's a thing called the head of the song. It's the melody, of the jazz song. And since it's instrumental, that's how people know that this melody is being played, because it's the song. And to me, there are places where Stephen Stills or Neil Young played these iconic, beautiful guitar lines, and I honor them. I have to. It's not the song without them. And then there's places where we take a little bit of artistic license and do what we do. But especially in the instrumental guitar sections where I learned how to play listening to those records. Those Stephen Stills and Neil Young were two of my biggest teachers as a young budding guitar player learning how to play. So it's very exciting to have the opportunity to recreate, if you will, or tip the hat, I like to use, of those guitar styles and those guitar sounds.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you, as you look at this lineup, and again, you obviously know your lineup, but for the folks that are listening, you've got Steve Postel, who was the guitarist and musical director, David Crosby, the immediate family. You got Chris Pierce, who was picked by Neil Young to support his 23 tour. Obviously yourself, Teresa James, Ted Russell, Steve Holley, who's, played for, with Wings, Mott the Hoople, Julian Lennon. This is an all-star cast. And I imagine the energy backstage can get pretty intense too.
You know, we're just so thrilled to be doing this. We love what we do. This isn't, well, as a very famous bass player who is in the immediate family with Steve Postel and has recorded with Crosby and CPR, Leland Sklar, who played with James Taylor, and again, you know, is very close to us. He says this beautiful thing. He goes, well, you know, I play for free. It's the 22 hours that I'm not on stage that I have to charge money for when I'm working out on tour, but I play for free, and that is true. We play for free. We love what we do. This is not a job. It's our passion. It's our life purpose. And so to share this music with people who take time out of their day to kind of forget about stuff that's going on in the world. And there is a lot of stuff going on in the world that we wouldn't mind taking a break from. So a lot of this music was even composed out of feelings like that, out of what was going on in the Vietnam War at the time, social injustice. And so it's kind of interesting how the times have changed, but not that much. A lot of this stuff is going on, and these songs reflect not only a piece of time when these things were written, but also are very, very current as well. So it's an amazing opportunity.
You know, they were the soundtrack for social change. Every one of their songs. Which ones? And you said that it is sort of timeless in here. That, you know, we're kind of living through it again. Are any of their songs feel especially prescient right now?
Well, that's a great question. And of course, you know, we do Ohio, which, you know, is one of the most anthemic songs in regards to, you know, events that happened of social injustice and of the powers doing things that are unfathomable. Teach your children, which is such an important message, you know, to people. I could go on. I mean, there's so many beautiful songs that reflect not only the angst, but also of love, you know, Sweet Judy Blue Eyes, you know, Stephen Stills' love for Judy Collins. You know, it's a cross-section of such an incredible, iconic catalog that will invoke a lot of different emotions for people, especially people like me who attempted to grow up listening to that music.
Right. Well, I mean, you mentioned earlier about younger audiences coming in, and I love that I see young people today, and I'm starting to sound like the old fart that I am, but appreciate this music of the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. And, you know, I mean, it's hard when you sit there and you hear U2 and they call them oldies, but I mean,
Right.
But do you think the kids today or the younger audiences that are coming to see you guys, and again, this is on April 20th at Ram's Head on stage, will see Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young differently than those who lived through it in real time?
Well, that's a great question, and I wish I could give you an informed answer. Obviously, you know, the way that music and art is everyone experiences art in a totally unique way. And that's one of the beauties of it, you know, in regards to what someone might be feeling from listening to these songs. Someone who has such a long history with it, they might think of their childhood or think of when they were in college or think of when they almost got drafted or when they went to Vietnam or whatever. And for younger people, you know, to me, this music is timeless, and I certainly can't speak for someone else, but the fact that this music is played with such ferocity and such meticulousness to try to encapsulate the inception of this music and the spirit of this music, it's quite an honor. And I've played the Ram's Head numerous times with David Crosby, played there, I'm pretty sure, with Crosby and Nash, as well as other bands. But a lot of memories of playing Ram's Head with David, and there's an intimacy to that venue that is so beautiful because people are just right there, right around you. It's not a huge, crazy, echoey place. It sounds great in there. The people who run it are wonderful people, and I'm just really, really looking forward to coming back there to play this music with this band.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to having you guys come back as well. And I remember, I think one of the last Crosby shows I saw was there, and he was exhibiting his paintings 3 doors down as well.
Wow.
Because he was dabbling in painting in there. But I'll tell you, Jeff, as we start to wrap it up, are you game for a quick fire round of 5 questions that you just got to fire off of answer real quick?
I'm game for just about anything. Let's try it.
All right, there you go. First album you ever bought with your own money?
Beatles, Meet the Beatles.
All right, and for a beer, this doesn't really count, but what was Todd Rundgren's first album that he bought with his own money? Wild guess. Take a wild guess.
Yeah. Darn, God. I actually have met Todd a few times, and I have friends who were playing in his band, Chasm Sultan and Prairie Prince, the rhythm section. And I was in Europe. We were staying at the same hotel, and there was this one area in the hotel that had free Wi-Fi. So I was down in this area doing my Wi-Fi, and there's Todd Rundgren. Anyway,
that's funny.
The first record. God, that's a toughie. I'm going to have to say Meet the Beatles just because to me it's required listening.
True. Well, I don't disagree with you there, but it was Make Way for Dionne Warwick, actually.
Wow. I did a show where I was a band member in New York City, and Dionne Warwick and Michael McDonald were one of the featured. Yeah, and they did a song together, which was kind of a hip hop version of "Walk On By," and it was so beautiful. Can you imagine those two voices together?
Yes.
Anyway.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, right. I'm a big fan of both of them. Anyway, go ahead.
Let's get on with it. Okay, your favorite guitar solo of all time that's not yours?
Oh, my God. I could list a million of them, but I'll tell you one that I had to learn because it's such an amazing guitar solo is the guitar solo on Larry Carlton's guitar solo on Kid Charlemagne's Steely Dan, which is crazy, delicious, melodic, incredible. But then I could go with Hendrix too. So this is a tough question.
Fair enough. Okay, CSNY song that you never get tired of playing.
Wow, all of them. Because David and I were so close for so long, the iconic "Almost Cut My Hair" to me is an anthem of rebelliousness, of freedom, of the way that you want to be shining out to the world. That you don't want to conform by cutting your hair. You want to just celebrate you as you are. And so because of all those various things, I always feel so honored to continue to play this song, whether I look over at him and his beautiful starry eyes were looking at me and smiling, or just remembering the many times we had a chance to play these songs together.
Okay, 3 words that describe our house, the music of CSNY, performed by friends and family.
Let's see. Inspired, encapsulation. Oh God, 3 words. Let's see. Oh man, admittedly, while I consider myself a really good guitar player, lyricism, encapsulating lyricism in 3 words is a toughie for me. As you could hear, I tend to spout. 3 words to encapsulate. God. All right. Here we go. Badass musicians celebrating.
Fantastic. And that's exactly what we're going to have on the 20th here in Annapolis at Ram's Head on stage. I'll tell you, Jeff, this has been awesome, man. I want to thank you so much for your time today.
Sure.
Folks, Our House, the music of Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young performed by family and friends is coming to Ram's Head April 20th. Do yourself a huge favor. Grab some tickets at ramsheadonstage.com. Grab some friends and get ready for really an unforgettable night of music from one of the greatest songbooks ever written. I wish you safe travels, Jeff. Looking forward to seeing you in Annapolis.
Great.
And if you want to check out all things Jeff Pevar, including that Stonehouse, which I saw on your website, which looks fantastic, you want to hit up the website at pevar.com, and that's PEVAR.com. And
that's correct.
Again, thank you so much for your time, and I can't wait to see you guys here in about a week.
Awesome, John. Thank you so much for doing what you do. And like I mentioned, I played Ram's Head with Crosby numerous times, and we're excited to be back on that same stage playing this iconic music. So we'll see you all there. And John, thanks for your time.
Take care, man. Thank you.
All right, bro.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Almost cut my hair. It happened just the other day. It's getting kind of long. I could have said it wasn't my way, but I didn't, and I wonder why. I feel like letting my freak flag fly. Yes, I feel like I owe it to someone. Must be because I had the flu for Christmas, and I'm not feeling up to bar. It increases my paranoia, like looking at my mirror and seeing a police car. But I'm not giving in an inch to fear. 'Cause I promised myself this year I feel like I owe it to someone. When I finally get myself together, I'm going to get down in that sunny southern weather, and I find a place inside the lab, separate the wheat from the chaff. I feel like I owe it. Someone, yeah.
This has been a bonus podcast from Eye on Annapolis. Please visit us at eyeonannapolis.net. Follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. And if you haven't subscribed to the Daily News Brief podcast, go for it. And all of your local news will be delivered to your phone, tablet, or smart device by 6 a.m. every Monday through Friday.